Hi, it's Pat Patterson, the racing guy. You're listening to the Ghostfire Media Podcast.
Oh, okay, hold up. Apparently it doesn't like it. Doesn't see the desktop video. Advanced properties. Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. Welcome to Ghostfire Media Podcast. Randy Pepper just tried to introduce you, but apparently it's not seeing no audio from it whatsoever.
You just don't.
There
you
we
don't
go.
want to hear us.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, yeah, I see how it is.
Yep.
Get the best intro of his career and
Yep.
Yeah,
cut
exactly.
it off.
It's all gone. All right, so
Take
welcome
seven.
to the
Take seven.
welcome to the Ghostfire Media Podcast on this Friday night. It's a free for all Friday. That means you, the viewers out there, can submit questions to us tonight, and we will bring you on. And you, if we think your question is worthy enough, we will bring you on. If not, you're just going to have to sit back there and watch the good questions go about. So it's Randy Pepper back in the middle seat here, as they call it. And with me once again, it's Adam Wood. Adam, what is happening?
Man, beautiful week here in good old Texas. We started the winter series of the snowball, or the winter series in a super late model, super late model SLMs, and that was actually
the tip too.
I got the tip a couple times. I actually had a blast, man. Seeing people throw the car in side by side, watching Brandon and Blake beat the shit out of each other. It was fantastic.
And that's the AOLL, right?
Yeah, that's the AOL winter series on Wednesday nights. But
all right.
Yeah, it was a blast. But other than that, work life, mediocre. Just trying to get by. 88 more days, and I'll be home in North Carolina.
Woo-hoo.
I'm not counting or anything.
No, not that there's a countdown. I'm surprised there's not even a website for it.
I have that on the phone. I don't want to put it out in personal,
And Josh Lassen up there. What is happening, Josh? How you been doing?
We'll call it an interesting week. We'll leave it at that. But you know what? I'm happy to finally be hanging out with you guys again. Unfortunately, it's the last time for the year, but you know what? I'll see you guys out on track. Maybe when Randy Pepper gets his fancy new computer, he'll actually show up once in a while and hang out with us.
I do race. Tuesday nights I've been racing in the Racing for Jesus League, which a few of us in the first response team have all been racing in that league and having a good time. And it's a just a good fun time. So that's where I've been racing. And we started here in Ghostfire Media. We started this week the Sim 500 League. Me and Nick Adams have taken the horns for that one, and it was a great night, man. That's a good league, really good, some really good racers in that league, and we had some of the best racing we've had in a long time in that. Not as good as that last race I called with Adam. Me and Adam did that race with you, Josh, and Blake.
Yeah, the season finale.
Man, that was I have to say that was one of the best races I've called. Those last 4 or 5 laps.
I think it was actually last like 15 laps or so.
Yeah, it was a lot of laps. I know it was a lot, but that was a really great race, man. You guys,
it was
really
a lot of fun, and honestly, that is the first Adam 15, 20 laps we had on the Wednesday night league this past week. That's exactly what it was. There were inches of space between cars, and yes, I may have given Adam the tip towards the end of the race. It made it to where we both finished at the back, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a race. I mean, you were able to sling the cars in, door to door beatings, every single corner. All the restarts were wild. Only time I ever felt comfortable was like, when we got about 10 laps in and you had like, maybe a car length or so in front of you and behind you. Other than that, you were not comfortable at all. You were fighting for every inch the whole entire time. And it was fun. And I want to shout out to my daughter. She just said, "Hey, broski." So I'm gonna say, "Hey, broski." I told you I was gonna hang up the Christmas tree. There it is. It's hanging in the background.
Party hat or a napkin or that you made into that or what?
No,
What is it?
that's the little Debbie. The little Debbie Christmas trees.
Oh, it is a little Debbie. I
Yeah.
ate one of those last night. Wow.
Yeah, it's the little
How'd you
Debbie.
get to stick to the wall?
I got the clear plastic tape that you'd use for packages and stuff. That's what it's on it, so you can't see it.
You know it's going to turn green and brown before long, right?
It's for decoration. It was like 50 cents. So it's a one-time decoration. I said I was gonna be festive for this last podcast, and
Man,
I'm
big spender
festive.
can't even go to Dollar
I-
Tree.
I mean, it's not a Dollar Tree anymore. It's like $1.25 now or something. They had to bump it up. Inflation's a bitch.
Well, I got to pay those people $15 an hour. So those people actually, I think, earn the $15.
Oh, without a
Oh, yeah.
doubt.
The people that go into those stores, yeah.
I've worked
They-
food service enough in my life to where I honestly do not argue with the Taco Bell employee making $15 an hour dealing with half the Karens that come through there.
I don't know, Taco Bell and McDonald's and all them. Yeah, okay. I get some of them making $15, but some of them I do not. But
I mean, it's by position. I mean, because now, like, the front clerk is at McDonald's. You can go to the LCD menus in most of them and order your own damn food.
right, exactly. And then they still mess it up.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. And all the steak and shakes now. I don't know about the steak and shakes in your area, but they are now all touchscreen. There's no more waitresses. You go in there, you do the screen, go and pick the food up, you take it off the bench and off to your table you go, and that's it. So
I've not been to a Steak and Shake because there isn't one anywhere near me anymore. Used to go there all the time because there was one about a 5-minute drive away from work, and the like $5 menu is actually pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they don't have that anymore. They don't have that. It's a regular menu. You pick your hamburger and your fries and all that stuff, and yeah, good times for sure. I meant to go to the South Point Casino and see because they have a steak and shake there. I wondered if they actually had the same thing there, but I doubt it.
I'll let you know next week because now I actually really want some of their fries.
But
I don't know what it is about it. Just somehow they're delicious.
they are. They're good. They are good fries. I like. My wife doesn't like them, but I like them. We have. I'm a big fry person, and in Florida we have the obsession with fries that are coated, and I believe Wendy's just started this. They're using the coated fries now. I hate them.
So,
It's like
all right. So let's start the first tangent then. Who out of fast food joints has the best French fries?
McDonald's.
I'm gonna go between McDonald's and Zaxby's.
Zaxby's has great fries. So does Who Human Goose. I'll agree. Those people, Human Goose, I think
You
has
guys are
really
talking
good fries.
gibberish to me who lives in the north.
Yeah. You definitely don't have any Zaxby's over in
You have
Ohio.
Chick-fil-A.
I-
Chick-fil-A has good fries.
Eh,
All right.
I'm
not-
I like
am
I
not a
like the
Chick-fil-A
waffle.
fan.
I like the waffle fries. I
Yeah.
do like the waffle fries.
I like the waffle fries if you can give me some nacho cheese to go along with them.
Oh, now you're just being you're just going to be picky about it. I'm not even let's look at
The only time I like thick fries or anything that's not just like crispy, I want to have something to dip them in.
The other one you can do that it's more expensive is the Five Guys fries. I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah, but those are real fries.
Yeah.
That's because and I just went to a place called Frazzie's here, and they hand cut the fries every day, and those are the best. I love the hand cut fries.
Yeah, so like Five Guys isn't really a fast food. It's like in between. I think it's like
It's
Yeah.
fast food.
it's in between-ish. It's not
It's
like
not
like there's I don't know. There's only a few of their chains are drive-throughs. Most of them are brick and mortar that I've been
Yeah, you
through in
gotta go
DC
inside.
area and North Carolina
too
down
lazy.
here.
I
It
just
took me
I haven't
25
ordered.
minutes to get my food the other day at Five Guys, so I don't think that's very fast food.
Yeah, I think it's like a cross. I think it's like it branches into like not a restaurant, but it's not a fast food because it's not fast at all.
No, it's not fast. It's just kind of fast food looking,
Man,
but it's not fast.
And then we've got Tim St. Jean out there talking about Canadian things.
What's he
deluxe
talking
So I
about?
do know deluxe.
deluxe French fries are the best. He says.
Where are deluxe French fries? Is that in Canada?
Yeah.
Do I have to go to Canada to get these fries? That sucks.
Yes.
I don't
The only
want to do
time
that.
I've ever had it was when I was in Toronto.
I agree with John out there. It says you order the smallest French fries that Five Guys have because they just load the crap out of it.
The bag.
Yeah,
They literally have. They give you your cup of fries, and then they have like a little scoop that they throw.
and then
on
they just
top of
continue
everything.
throwing
Yeah.
fries. Like
Yeah.
you never run out of fries at Five Guys. And then
Actually, the other day they did not do that. They just put them all in the cup.
oh man,
That
you
was
got
the first
gypped.
I had seen.
You
I got gypped. I got gypped. I was like, "What the hell is this?"
And then
That's
they
not gonna last my whole ride all the way back to freaking Daytona from Mount Dora.
and if you eat it inside, you can go over there and grab the vinegar because that's one of the things that they like to have is the vinegar there. The first time I ever had the French fries with vinegar was at Boardwalk or something like that at Ocean City in Maryland. Like there's a place called Thrashers that it just serves fries. That's their whole entire store is fries, and I believe, and that's the first time I ever had the little dipped it in vinegar because everybody's like, you have to go see it, and yeah, fun times.
Well, there's a place on the Mardi Gras cruise ship that I'm going on in April that they have just a fry stand. It's like they have these. They have put these little. They're like food trucks. They made their own like little area of food trucks on the ship, and one is just French fries. So I can't wait to do that.
Yeah,
I could live with that.
I might one day want to do the cruise ship thing, but my wife is anti cruise ship. Like
Why?
she's like, I got seasick just sitting in the port. She did some type of gig. I forgot who the thing was, but she did a gig on an ocean liner, like as they were christening it. And she's like, nope, it's awesome for what it gave you, like free food, like everything was like included. And she's like, I want one of everything. Like everybody else was like all the other the women that were in the gig with her were like, filling up on their just one item of their favorite. My wife's like, no, I want one of everything. And yeah, she got her money's worth, which was free.
If she ever decides that she ever wants to go back out on one, let me know. My wife takes this pill that she gets from the doctor. And before she started taking these pills, she used to get sick as a dog. I mean, on an airplane, in the backseat of a car,
Yeah, maybe
anything.
send me a message on that because my wife, she can't do roller coasters anymore. She can't do anything
do
anymore.
all that.
She hates it.
Yeah, my wife can do all that because now she has this little magic pill that some guy came into her bank and said, yeah, you need to try this. She tried it and
Changed her
bam.
life.
Yeah, changed her life. Now, she's like, all right, we're going to April on the cruise, right? I'm like, yeah, we're going great. We're going to April. Yeah, we're going cruising.
Oh man,
It's too cheap for cruises. In all honesty, that's all it is. But
so this takes me
it's
back to
cheap.
people being seasick. So back in my time in the 82nd, probably around maybe like between the 05, 08 era, being the 82nd Airborne Division, they were like, hey, let's have a good time. We're gonna, go out deep sea fishing, kind of get away from the unit. It was a chaplain event. So the chaplain's like, hey, you want to do this? Come out. We'll go deep sea fishing off the shores of North Carolina and the Outer Banks. And we're like, hell yeah. We get out there. The chaplain's seasick the whole entire time because we were supposed to have, he was supposed to give out lessons and make it, kind of church related and, do that. Nope. The whole entire time this dude was seasick. So we just fished the whole entire time.
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's the only time you can get me on a boat
The
is
fish.
if you're going to have me go fishing. And I don't even really like fishing. It's an excuse to sit there in silence, drink beer, and do nothing.
Yep.
What do you think you do on a cruise ship?
There's so
Well, I
many
know,
people.
but it's more just I'm too cheap.
Dude, I get these things every day in my email from
Because you're
these
the
different
awesome dude, man. You're the rat man.
No. Anybody can get these deals. You just have to sign up for. Is it cruiseship.com or something? let me find out. I find out. So but I get these things every day from these people, and they have all these crazy Shipmate. So you get these crazy deals.
That sounds like a
You-
dating website.
Yes, it is. No, just no. So you get these things from Shipmate, and they send you like these coupons for like you can go on a cruise for like $10 a day. So you can literally go out on a ship for 3 days for 30 freaking dollars. It includes all your food. They have shows, all kinds of stuff, water parks, all kinds of crazy crap on for 30 freaking dollars.
It says, oh please.
What is it?
Randy,
Josh is laughing.
Randy gets credentialed NASCAR Pat Patterson high roller cruise deals. Us peons don't get shit. That's what Justin says.
And that's what I'm laughing at.
Actually, it's funny because Pat is going on a cruise for New Year's. That's what they're doing. I'm going to what the hell, New Orleans. I'm going down on Bourbon Street for New Year's. But yeah, he's going on his first cruise, and he's like asking me, what do I have to expect? And I'm telling him everything. So, but yeah, for $30, you can go on a cruise. Now, Pat and them didn't pay a whole lot. Their cruise, I think they went out for 7 days, and I think they spent around $500, something like that.
Man,
That's still more money than I pay for hotels and airfare.
Well, how do you get so cheap for hotels and airfare?
I used to fly a lot for work, so I have miles racked up
Miles.
for days.
Well, then you don't have to pay for the airfare. You just fly into there. You get on the ship. You, like I said, take a $10 deal, go out on the ship for 3 days. All your food and everything are paid for. Your hotel is there on the water.
Heck, I was actually having a conversation with someone earlier about the fact that I was seriously debating flying to Dallas just to go get barbecue for one specific restaurant.
Well,
Just
tell
do
me
the whole
this.
trip trip
And
in
I
one
would have drove
day.
up a Minta. We would have came in and hang out, and I would have ate barbecue with you, man. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive from me.
Because I used to go down there like twice a year for work, and we went to this place. It was right across the street from one of the cattle auctions, and they made jokes about the fact that, yeah, this cow was alive 3 days ago.
Oh,
It's like,
that's bad.
it's dark but delicious.
Adam, how far are you from New Orleans?
Quite a bit. About 8
I was
hours
gonna
or
say
so.
that's a day's
Okay.
drive.
Yeah,
you got the same amount I do. I'm about 8 hours from New Orleans.
Yeah, we left when we came across country with the family in June-ish. Yeah, we went to New Orleans. We went to Georgia and hung out with some family there, and then drove from Georgia to New Orleans, stayed there the night, and then drove from New Orleans to down here where I'm at now. So yeah, it's about an 8
Does
hour.
it smell as bad
drive.
as everybody says it does?
Oh, it's terrible, man. Yeah, and I'm off season. I went off season too. Like nobody goes to there in June because it's hot and muggy. So yeah, you're gonna be going there. Maybe the hot mugginess is over with, and hopefully the smell kind of goes down. Kind of like if you go to New York during the warmer times, it smells terrible.
New York in the winter is the best time because no one's walking, and it doesn't smell as bad.
Okay. I'll have
And
to
Central
remember
Park in a blizzard is actually kind of nice.
that.
I know that because I walked across it one time.
And you survived.
Yeah.
I think I went there. I think I went like June or July. I think because when the wife was on America's Got Talent during that time frame, I took the train up to up there and got to see her perform at Radio City Music Hall.
Wait, we didn't know about this.
Yeah, I did. I think I did. I
didn't.
think he told me this story.
Yeah, so she's right now at Charlottesville in Virginia doing a gig, and then she flies out about a week or so, and she's going to Hawaii for a gig for Ford. So she'll be out there and then staying out there for about a week afterwards. Because they're like, you can stay as long as you want. We'll pay you for your airfare back whenever you want to go back. So they're all going to stay out there for about a week. So she gets to go relive her pastimes, because we stayed out there for 3 years. So she's going to be the tour guide for everybody.
That's cool. You talk about I live a life. How about that one, Josh? His wife has got the life.
I know. I, I'm aware.
Those
She's
are
a
sparse.
military wife.
Those are sparse. Those are, and that's not a military gig. That's a civilian type of thing. It's called camo.
Not living out there.
And military sent me there. So in the army you re-enlist every so often. So whenever your enlistment's up, you either get out or you re-enlist to stay in. So while I was deployed in Iraq, I raised my right hand and said, "Hey, sure, I'll continue on for another 6 years, and sure, I'll take this assignment to Hawaii. I'll have oh shucks, So, but 3 years in Hawaii though, it sounds fantastic. It's not. It's a place where you're on an island and you have 3 hours to go like this and you're back home. So yeah, you never go anywhere. There's no family, there's no friends really. And
Dude, I totally understand that. I have played Key West a billion times, and they used to always stick us in Key West for like a month at a time during spring break. Key West is 3 miles one way and 1 mile the other way. There ain't shit to do in Key West. It sucks. You do it all within like 2 or 3 days and you're done. So then you got, another 28, 27 more days to figure out what the hell you're going to do on that island, besides play.
but it does spoil you. So being in Hawaii, I got used to crystal clear blue water in the beaches.
And then Key West.
And you
Yeah.
go out there and you're just like, hell yeah. So then we come back here on the East Coast and we're like, let's go to Myrtle Beach. And we're like, what is this?
You can't
It's
see your
muddy
feet
lake water.
when you're ankle.
Yeah.
You can't see your feet when you're ankle deep.
Yeah, so we're
Yep.
like, ew, this is like muddy pond water. What is this? So yeah.
I broke my toe in Myrtle Beach in a hole I couldn't even see. So I understand that totally.
So yeah, it spoils you. It takes Myrtle Beach and just the East Coast as a whole, and takes that wonderful beach vibe to like, oh, this is crap.
Yeah, everything below New Smyrna Beach is not bad. It's the water turns blue. But everything above New Smyrna Beach all the way up to Myrtle Beach and Virginia and stuff, no, the water.
I'm going to be the first person to say, and this is apparently blasphemy in Northeast Ohio, the Outer Banks are terrible.
There's good waves there to surf.
If you enjoy the Outer Banks for what it is, then it's okay. But other than that, it's an overhyped situation.
Yeah.
Like you go there and enjoy Outer Banks for what it is, just the Outer Banks. Then okay, cool. You like history. You like lighthouses. You love doing that. You want to go see 15 lighthouses? Go for it.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Ride the ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there over the summer, and the most interesting part was going to Roanoke Island.
Did you go to the Wright Brothers Museum?
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Yeah.
But did you see the Curse of the Roanoke Island? There's like 14 seasons of it. Because they haven't found the curse yet, so they're at 14 seasons. One day they'll show us what the Curse of the Roanoke Island is.
No one knows, and that's why they're just going to keep milking it for a while.
Yeah, like the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's never going to end. We should probably talk about racing rather than
we've had fun. Yeah, we were
tangents
racing.
about vacation.
All right. So let's go into it. So next year, we race at Gen 6, the next gen cars coming out, the Gen 7s, and there's a lot of buzz about it. We as sim racers get to kind of see the guesstimated physics and engine and drafting and all that stuff. But, what do you guys think it's going to be like in real world? Like, how do you think the thing is? People were upset about the splitter still. They're like, there's still a splitter, but it's a raised in the center. So do you think the raised splitter in the front end is going to provide too much downforce and make it stuck to the ground still, or should they get rid of it?
So I've actually spent the many semi-boring hours watching NASCAR's live streams of a lot of the testing. I actually think it's going to make racing fantastic. I like the raise in the splitter. I love the technology and the physics that are going into the added downforce. It's going to make it more stable, and it's going to make it where people are going to probably make a lot of dumb moves because it inspires confidence, and I'm looking forward to that.
I agree. I that's what I was kind of things I was going to say is I think it's going to give people a false confidence at the very beginning, thinking they can do things that they couldn't do before, and they might be able to do it on some of the tracks, but I'm not so sure they're going to be able to do it on all the tracks. And with NASCAR not still not going to have practice for many of these tracks, these guys are going to go out and race
Blind.
blind. Exactly. So who knows what we're going to see? I mean, especially with these new cars. I mean,
Uh,
it's gonna be great. I can't wait to see it. I really can't.
All right. So, like we said earlier, this is a call-in session. So write your questions out. You can do it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You can come into our Discord channel. You can write it in Discord channel as well. And then if you want to be pulled into the booth up here and talk about it, just hop into one of the voice channels. If we think your
We'll
question's
pull ya.
worthy, we'll pull you in. So we want
Yeah.
to we want to
We're-
have
we're
this as a chaos night, so to speak. Bring in multiple different people, get other people's point of view outside of us. We're three random people, so we'll get more random people in here.
And I have lots of opinions.
Yeah. So I agree with Kevin Harvick this week. I listened to him during one of his interviews in Nashville. He says the cars are too slow. He says increase it to at least 650 horsepower. These cars need to be, being pushing more speeds down the straightaway and being able to, so they would have to let off in the corners more. I agree with him. He said, like, if it was up to him, he would put out a press release and make it out either 1,000 or 1,200 horsepower. But 650 is a good compromise. And he said all the drivers were basically, he was speaking, I don't know if for the other drivers or saying that he thinks other drivers are thinking like this, but he says mostly all the other drivers are in agreement that they would rather have more horsepower as of right now with this new next gen car.
Hey, I don't know if I agree with that. I like having the car have not so much power. I think it will allow some of these newbies that have just graduated from like the Xfinity have a more of a chance at kind of being able to get a grasp with these cars. Now, maybe next year, the year after, yeah, graduate, the cars will be faster. But I think this first year, I think they need to keep the horsepower down just to let the guys work the bugs out of the car the first year.
I'd say that's probably a good idea for like the first, I don't know, quarter of the season. Because I'm just trying to look at the schedule and oh god, never mind. I'm gonna ignore that comment for a second here. Um, I I think through the first quarter of the schedule to where the teams are going to be able to figure out how to set up the cars properly because they obviously are not going to have enough time without nearly as much practice to really be able to figure it out. But I think at least midway through the season, start letting them have a little bit extra because everybody will have the time to settle into the car. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to kind of figure out a little bit of the quirks. And then, yeah, give us faster racing.
Yeah. So, I get your guys' point of view. My point of view is, with the Gen 6, you have a little bit of a run, you stick your nose out, and you have no power to pass anybody. There's nothing. Like, you can't really do anything. So, having that extra power and the boost with the way these cars are drafting, at least the way in iRacing, the way they're able to do it, being able to go out and muscle your way in with horsepower, I think it's going to be a good key with these new next gen cars because they're so planted that their car's not going to become too unstable aerodynamically whenever they hit the gas for the extra power.
Well, but you also have to take into advantage of a lot of these guys are used to driving a car that is all mechanical grip, and these new cars are going to actually have aero grip. So some of these guys are going to have to get used to the fact that, okay, I'm 50 miles an hour slower. I'm not going to have as much grip as I would be taking this exit a little bit faster.
Yeah. And to talk to Justin, I mean, every so often somebody gets something right. And Kevin Harvick, I agree with him on this. I agree that these guys need to have a little bit more power than what it is. Uh, Take that with what you want, but I agree with him on that. I didn't say I agree with him on everything, but yeah, I'll take that. I think they do need more power.
Like I said, I think not at first. I think they've still got to feel these cars out. I don't think they can just go out there. And this is when we're talking the real life NASCAR
Oh yeah,
stuff. I wish I could just it's 8:30. That means Pat is eating the chicken shack right now. So I'm not gonna call him.
he's got on schedule.
Yeah, but
Yeah, every Friday night is the chicken shack for fish fry, guys.
whatever. You got to have your routines. But
But
no, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is, and it's the same thing in sim racing as it is in actual NASCAR. It's a level playing field. Your true racing experience this next year is going to be what's going to get you to the front of the pack, not I've put 800 hours in this car.
yeah, and I'm hoping it kind of brings the racing that the Xfinity series has. The Xfinity series, I think, has some really good racing, and I think that I'm hoping that they kind of translate, that type of mechanical power, the way those cars draft, the way they have they're able to drive those cars, because they're a little bit more exciting to see most races.
They're also slower.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of saying I kind of like having that slower, especially with these guys coming out of Xfinity and going into the Cup. They might actually have a chance of actually doing something, more than they would prior. Especially this first year. I mean, I'd love to see somebody like BJ McLeod actually have a chance, instead of being a back marker every week.
Well, and then you also have to factor in that basically everybody is driving the exact same car because they aren't building the chassis themselves. It's coming prefab. It's no longer a constructor series. It's a customer series.
It's going to be
Right.
coming down to the composite bodies of manipulating that now, so to speak, and they still got everybody's got to stay within the specs and all that stuff. But yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So
Right.
I mean,
They're still running the
they're going
same
to find
motors
ways.
they ran last year. That's one of the things. They're still running the same motors they ran last year and whatever. Just now they've got a 5-speed opposed to a 4.
And I really like the new transmission that I got in there. I think the sequential is going to
God.
be far superior for them, especially with this road course heavy dominance series compared to the past like 5 to 10 years that they've only visited like one, maybe two a year. Now they're
I
at
was
what,
gonna
four,
say
five, six.
you got the Glen, and maybe they'd throw Indy out there too, and
I don't think
now
I don't think the Cup has really ever been to the Indy Road course. I mean, I don't know.
Oh no,
Yeah, it
that's
was
right. That
last
was
year.
Xfinity this past.
Yeah.
No,
Didn't we have Cup then?
Xfinity only ran.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just because I remember watching the Indy broadcast and them talking about the fact that, yeah, there's rubber laid down, but it's Goodyear and these guys are using Firestones and it doesn't work the same way. And I'm just like, rubber's rubber.
Yeah.
You would think it would
They
work
gotta
the
throw.
same.
They have to throw shade at the other manufacturers.
Yeah, I know. Both of them are headquartered in Akron, so I can't throw shade at either of them. Family worked at both of them.
Really, they're headquartered there, both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. I
I
thought
could
Goodyear was
actually right
actually
now.
headquartered in Spartanburg.
Well, okay, founded. We'll go with that. And both
Okay.
Goodyear's headquartered here. Firestone still has a massive presence here. But if I wanted, I actually saw recently that Firestone, the founder's son's house that he was built, is actually for sale right now.
17.5 billion.
Yeah.
Actually, surprisingly, no. It's only about 500,000
Well, that's not bad.
because it's like it's in the city proper, to where it's not like he's sitting on like 50 acres.
Hmm. He
Uh,
doesn't have 14 different bedrooms and
But if it's depending on what type of city, you can get a 500 square foot place in Chicago for 1.2 million. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I know that. But we're talking Akron,
Akron, Ohio.
Ohio.
But no, so what I'm really digging is the wider tires that these guys they're putting on it. It's like what 3.5, 4 inches wider. I mean
yeah.
that right there is going to be huge for grip for these guys all the way around, no matter what track you're going to. Getting off the corners on short tracks, road courses, just in general ovals.
I mean, the whole new setup is going to make it to where I haven't run Charlotte in the sim, and as much as everyone wants to claim that it's basically the same thing as what we should expect, I don't believe them. But we ran Kansas as a group, what, like 2, 3 weeks after they released it in
Yeah,
iRacing, and it
Yeah.
was basically a super speedway.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Except
It
if
was
you
fun.
weren't in traffic, but that was the only time you had to lift, and it was barely a lift. And it's
and
a product of wider tires, actual downforce, and again, I think it all goes back to it's going to make the racing fantastic this year.
I mean, AOL, we go out there in the Cup Series, the current Gen 6s, and we go to like Michigan. So we did a test at our practice or fun race at Michigan. Normal Gen 6, you have maybe 5 liters total the whole entire race. And it's usually, the same people bounding back and forth basically. So but in our AOL fun race, I think we had 22, 23 different liters for a 50
Pretty sure
something lap
just
race.
about everybody ended up having a turn at the front of that
I
race.
mean,
Yeah, I actually led, which was amazing.
So I mean,
Oh, stop selling yourself short, Randy. The new
dude,
computer will fix that.
I tell you what, I remember that was the most amazing thing is we were going on the back straightaway and I'm on the inside like following somebody and you could get the massive run because Randy flew by me doing probably 10, 15 miles an hour faster than me because he got a hell of a run on the outside and was able to do it coming off of turn 2 going on the back straightaway. I was just like, this is going to make exciting racing if it can translate into the actual NASCAR production next year.
Yeah, I would like. Do you imagine that if they're running like Bristol and they're running like that? Four wide.
I I see that's the big thing for me that I'm looking forward to is the short track.
Uh,
Because Bristol, yeah,
2011 Bristol, it would have been fantastic for these cars because you
yeah,
had 2 distinct lanes, and
Yeah,
one can run the
yeah.
low side, one can run the high side, and just continue to go.
yeah, and then yeah, well, I won't talk about Atlanta and the repave there yet.
Oh, that's going to be a total super speedway. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, especially in these cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, like yeah, Bristol is going to be one of the tracks that I'm looking forward to the most this coming year. I'm actually also really looking forward to the season opener in the Coliseum because I think this car it's going to show how much better these things are at short tracks day one.
I mean, if you listen to, I didn't watch Dale Jr.'s podcast that he did on it, but I did listen to a lot of his comments after he went and tested. I forgot what track, but he was testing it for the Clash, so some short track speedway with it. So they were testing it to kind of be like mirroring the Clash, and he's like, when I first got out there, the first handful of laps, I wasn't even pushing the car. Like I was underdriving the car because I'm so used to, the Gen 6s, Bowman Gray, there you go. And he was like, until I started pushing it, and I was like, holy crap, this is a whole different generation of cars. Like, you could really dive deep in these corners. The brakes really grabbed. Like, there was super confident in with this. So I can't wait for it. I mean, even tracks not even like just like Bristol, like Richmond. I think Richmond's going to provide a hell of a racetrack.
Well, yeah, Richmond always gives good racing, but you nailed it on the head. The fact that you're going to be able to be better on the brakes, you're going to be able to really get good braking force going into some of those turns to where you can fly in there. Richmond, you can brake a third of the way into the turn if you're brave enough. I don't recommend it. It ends badly. And yeah, this entire car is going to make it just oh, you're gonna figure out who's lugging a little bit extra in their pants every day.
Oh yeah. Funny, we were talking to Bill Elliott out in Phoenix about the car,
Name
and
drop.
Bill actually. I'm just saying, no, it's not a name drop. I'm just talking. We were talking to him about it, and he actually said, "I wish I was racing next year because I would love to be racing this car with these guys because I think I might actually have a chance."
So talk about Bill Elliott. Did you talk to him about the Tony Stewart League to see how he liked running
Uh,
those cars?
he did like those cars. He was not sure that he was going to come back next year. That's one thing we did talk to him about. So I was kind
I
of shocked
enjoyed
at that.
that. I
He loved it.
enjoyed
He
that
said he
league.
loved it. Yeah, even Chase said he liked racing it. Chase said he would like to run some more races with it.
I got to see my boy Helio running in a stock car, and the fact that I got to watch those guys run dirt, watching Indy guys in a
Yeah.
dirt race was one of my favorite things to watch. But even then, like, I want those in the Sims so badly.
I think that
Mm.
I think it's still a work in progress, both on terms of the on track of how to do everything and how to actually broadcast and coverage to make it a mainstream type of
You mean
delivery.
Danica wasn't enough?
I think I could have done a better job than Danica. Sorry, I know I'm not 100% the best, but yeah, no.
You want to
Not-
hear something funny? When we were in Phoenix, so we're in this area where with the driver's owner's locked, and we're sitting there, so we're cruising along, and Danica comes walking along, and so I'm looking at Danica. Well, while I'm looking at Danica, Pat and everybody else is sitting there talking to Jeff Gordon. I didn't even see freaking Jeff Gordon. All I saw was Danica.
You're looking at 5'1" Danica Patrick over there. I'm like, you want to compare hair notes? Who's got the best hair?
Yeah, well, she was walking right next to me. I mean, she was right next to me. I just, I was like, oh, hey, how you doing, Danica? And like, my favorite driver's sitting there talking to Pat, and I didn't even know it. Thanks, Pan.
Nick would be yelling at you right now if
Would
he
you
was here.
Would you have been all
Oh, I know.
fanboyish, or you?
I
know,
will.
you're-
No. I've talked to Jeff several times, but no. But it's still. I always Jeff now. You guys see him on TV. He doesn't look like Jeff anymore. He's all gray and he looks old.
Everybody gets old except for you,
I-
apparently.
I think he, once he left the broadcasting booth, I think, the second half of the season, he kind of just like, let the gray happen. So
Yeah, he
I
did.
think while he was in the booth, he was like, I'm gonna still try to look young and, with it. And now he's like, I'm the owner, stressed out, gray hair. Here we come.
And that's what he looks like too. Yeah, but yeah, so, talking about these cars and stuff, and talking about some of the people like, that was one of the cool things in Phoenix. I actually got to talk to quite a few people when we were talking about these cars, and like Lee Spencer, Reed Spencer, all the I don't know if you know who those guys or guy and girls are, the husband and wife. They were pretty optimistic as we are about that car. They were like really, hoping this car lives up to all the hype. And I remember, both of you guys remember, I'm sure, how Nick was so adamant about, oh, this car is unsafe. They'll never run it if it's unsafe. You remember that? Do
Yeah.
you guys remember that?
Oh, I very
Yeah.
much remember that.
Yeah. And I asked Lee, Lee really, she's right in the middle of all that stuff. I mean, she knows about everything. I said, "Are there really any safety issues?" She goes, "No, not really. They're not worried about that." I mean, because you got to figure the driver is more towards the middle of the car now. He's not quite as far to the left as he was. He's kind of inward, and
I,
which makes the car safer right there for the driver.
I think the only concern right now is the heating problem. The drivers are seeing the temperature increase. I
Mhm.
saw some of the Charlotte testing. They had like a cutout in the front windshield for it. They're trying to figure out ways to pump more air into the cabin. So I think that's kind of where, not really it is a safety, but it's not an incident safety. It's more of just a driver's safety of trying to keep the driver in decent cool temperatures. I mean, they're not going to get
And that
AC
may
or
be
anything,
because
but
it's so far over
yeah.
Yeah, they
compared
don't
to
have
before.
they don't have
The
that
direct
giant
air.
open window
Yeah.
right there, but I mean, it's not like it would be the worst thing to try to solve. It's
Well, I think also the now with
have a few ducting.
the exhaust pipe now coming underneath the driver too, so
Mm.
that's adding extra heat on the driver's side compared to last year. Only having coming out the passenger side.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
But
if
I mean,
that's the only thing we got to worry about, then well,
I like
we'll
the
see.
different approaches. I mean, they threw the Hail Mary, mid 2000s when they threw the fucking gigantic wings in the back of them, trying to emulate Fast and the Furious. Let's try the gigantic decklids wings and stuff. See what that would bring. So I mean,
A
yeah,
point, but just didn't work.
yeah.
What do you think? There's any chance that this car ends up like that car,
No,
or does it work?
No.
I don't. I think there's going to be changes, but I don't think it's going to be drastic. I mean, just like every year, they've always tried stuff at the All Star races and other type of races like that, where they try to like, hey, let's try a different spoiler height. Let's try different opening areas. You know, too much cooling, too little cooling. So they're going to play with different specs like that. But I don't see the body really changing too much.
I don't see the frame changing much. I think that the core principles will stay the same to where it's going to be the modular frame, where it's basically three pieces that just get bolted together. Too much money has been put into that. Do I think that the arrow will probably change? Yeah. I have a feeling that they're going to realize that maybe they did go a little overboard with it, as much as I love the idea. I have a feeling they're going to probably dial back the diffuser a little.
I think we're going to see back to like 19. What was it 1989, 90? Back where we saw a lot of drivers saying, the guys in the Ford camp, oh, we don't have what the Chevrolet guys have. They've got so much more downforce than we do. We've got to even this up. Oh, and then, you had Dodge back then, and Dodge, oh, they've got the advantage over us, and because of this and that. And I think you're going to see some of that again.
All right. So speaking of that, uh, Steve, I think was it Steve Phelps. He during the Phoenix week, he kind of hinted at a fourth manufacturer, and the only person that he brought up was Dodge.
Yeah, they've talked about that, but also the Godfather yesterday actually hinted at possibly having maybe Honda, maybe even BMW.
Yeah.
I
So
I would see a foreign manufacturer joining before we would see Dodge, in
I
all
mean,
honesty.
Dodge is a foreign owned by foreign people now. I mean, they're not a North
German.
American company
Yeah,
now. I forgot who the new owner or Stalis,
yeah,
Stalis.
it's a German company.
Yeah, they were. I forgot who the ones before it, but now it's
Well, before
Stylus
it
or
was
something.
Mercedes Benz.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
Yeah, it was
Stylus
Daimler.
or
yeah.
But
Toyotas are foreign, but they're I think one of the most American-made cars now,
I
so
could
to
see
speak.
someone. I think Dodge right now would make sense for them from a marketing perspective. I just don't think that they would put the money behind it. I think honestly, I think the most logical would be Volkswagen, because
Volkswagen? What? Why?
I'm thinking of it less from the aspect of like racing and everything, but more from the marketing side, which is why Toyota's in there and they run the cars that they do. Let's not talk about Xfinity because I still think that that looks nothing like a Supra, but sounds like one.
I mean, the front nose looks like a Super, but none of the cars have body lines like their actual cars.
Yeah.
The sides and the rear end of the Camaro and the Mustang don't look like a Camaro and a Mustang. They're flat body lines. They don't have, at least the current gen Cup cars. They at least they have some type of body lines on the sides to kind of give them character. The Xfinity cars on the sides have zero character whatsoever. The front end's the only thing that really kind of distinguishes them.
But I think from a purely marketing standpoint, Volkswagen would make the bet most sense if it was a European. And then honestly, Nissan, if we were to go Japanese.
So I don't see Nissan coming in. I see
No, I don't
uh
either.
I see
I did it one time, not anymore.
BMW. Maybe I mean Audi's part of VW. I mean Audi's
Yeah.
owned by
Yeah, I was
VW.
going to
So
Audi, Porsche, they're all the same company.
yeah, so I could see I could see Audi coming in, not and trying to push
Not
the premium
not
line.
VW.
Like
Yeah,
you might have like Audi in the Cup series and VW in the Xfinity series or something to that effect.
yeah, I
And
could see that.
nobody wants a Ridgeline in the truck, so that won't happen.
No, because it's not really a truck.
It is
in my
not a
opinion.
truck.
But no, I also looking at it because yeah, I'm the one that follows Formula One way too closely. Volkswagen or someone in the VW group is probably going to end up being an engine supplier in Formula One soon. So I would see them branching off into more major motorsports.
Yeah, I mean, a fourth manufacturer as a whole would be awesome to see, no matter who it is, because the funding will come in. You can take mid tier teams. I could see as much as Roush will never probably leave Ford, but I would say Roush would be a good candidate because they need more funding. Because I think the more the funding goes to Penske and SHR, so
Actually, there was talk that Roush would be the one to jump ship to Dodge because Brad Keselowski won his only championship in a Dodge.
and that's the year Dodge went away because
Yes.
that's what's surprising. I mean, you just dominated not I don't say dominated the season, but you just got a series championship. I don't know how many Dodgers have, but at least they have that one with Brad. And that's the only one reason why I would say Brad might, Brad moving over could sway, be like, hey, let's be that guy. Let's be that team to do it. We have to stifle. You guys are kind of sitting around here with a thumb up your ass for quite a few years, being unproductive since Carl and Matt left and Jeff left. So yeah, you guys suck. Let's go ahead and let's get funding from a third party manufacturer. Ford doesn't give a damn about us too much. They're dumping money in Penske and SHR right now.
Yeah. I mean, RFK, I mean, I could see it. I definitely could see it. I think that would be a good move for them to go ahead and move to Dodge or whoever. But Dodge, like I say, is like they've been talking about, Dodge is probably the more than likely component to come into NASCAR out of all those people. Although I would love to see, like Josh said, I would love to see somebody from a Ford make come in, whether it be Volkswagen, Audi, um,
Because I mean, they're big in other
just
series.
somebody. Hmm?
Well, yeah, they don't really have any racing presence in the US
No, they
to
don't.
where the foreign name in Indy is Honda. You have yeah, they have some stuff in IMSA, but not really. And IMSA's slowly gaining some traction in broadcasting and viewership, but still not many people want to sit and watch 3 hours worth of a race unless it's got massive wrecks in the middle of it too.
Yeah, I could
That's
see
12 hours.
Justin saying SHR could be a good candidate because I mean the only really good driver they have right now on tap or that's actually done anything really has been Harvick. But I mean they have potential in their camp for good drivers, but were they just giving Harvick the better equipment and saying so long to, you know, the rest of the other three teammates.
Oh yeah, put your money behind the horse that can win.
So they think, but you know,
Oh.
Harvick went way down. I mean, SHR as a whole went down.
They weren't much of anything this year at all.
I think. I mean, without Penske's couple wins, I mean, Ford was, you know, lackluster in 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't much of anything. What do you guys think of losing Chip Ganassi this year and going to have
That was a
Trackhouse
shock.
taking over that?
That was a kind of
Yeah.
a shocker right there. You know, surprise
I'm
move.
not. I'm not all that surprised from. Yeah, I follow way too many racing series,
Yeah,
but
I was going to say
but
you probably know more about that than we do.
but the success that they've had in IMSA, it makes sense for them to shift their focus to where they're winning and can really broadcast the name.
I mean, and I mean, like Chip said, with a offer that he couldn't refuse, he couldn't refuse. So he's like, well, I'm not really having that success, and I don't know what these new cars are going to be like. Alrighty, let's do this.
Let's get out. Here you go, Pitbull. Here's the keys. Have fun.
No, so you know what really throws a wrench into it is that whole DC Solar incident. Like, you know, they're now coming after Chip Ganassi. Like, will they still go after Chip Ganassi since he sold everything, or will they go after Trackhouse now to get all their funding back? Because even though DC Solar was a scam or something like that, behind the scenes stuff, now they're coming after him for the sponsorship money that they prepaid into it before they didn't get any representation.
How you can go after somebody that doesn't have a charter anymore? I mean, they're not part of NASCAR. I don't see how they can go after
If the
them.
contract was signed by a principal, they're the person responsible for it, and he obviously got a payday out of it, so he has the money that he could throw back at them.
Yeah, I mean, give them back their money and say, okay, here you go, guys. See you later. I just earned a bunch of billions of dollars for selling my team to Mr. Worldwide, Mr.
Yeah,
305.
he can throw the probably like $4 million that he got paid for that sponsorship deal back at him,
Yeah.
and still never even recognize it.
But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to, you know, having the Watermelon Man over there at Trackhouse to see what he can do. I'm looking forward to see what Kurt Busch can do. I mean, will he get, you know, premier stuff over Bubba, and or will, you know, how will that shape up? You know, he's aligning now with Toyota, and underneath that, semi Joe Gibbs Racing equipment ish. How is that going to work with this new team?
I can't imagine that Kurt doesn't get the better equipment, because no matter how much older he gets, he's still going to be a better driver than Bubba. Bubba's a good driver, but he's not Kurt Busch. At least in my eyes, he's not.
He has a win, technically.
Yeah, technically. But you know, and will this new car equalize everything? You know, will this play in the hands of the talents of other people like
That's what I
Bubba
say.
and Rick Ware Racing and
Cole
you know,
Custer.
yeah, Cole Custer. I mean, you know, all these cars. I mean, even though Suarez, I mean, they were dominant in Xfinity series, but now they moved in the Cup series and they aren't worth a damn. Like Christopher Bell, he's got a couple wins, but I mean, he was like the man to fucking beat. And Xfinity series.
He's actually ran good in a couple of these races though this year.
I mean, he has, but he's not dominant. Like, so in Xfinity
No.
series, I mean, the dude was going out there killing him like he's Ty Gibbs, because Ty Gibbs has been slaying everything he's been thrown at right now. Every race they did. I'm looking forward to seeing what the kid can do in running full time Xfinity next year.
He'll probably do pretty well, I would imagine.
Yeah. But you know, I just want to see, you know, how well will, you know, these drivers that excelled in Xfinity, but then when they moved up to the Cup Series, just had a lackluster career. I mean, like Suarez is like one of the biggest ones. You know, he got with a big name talent of Joe Gibbs Racing and didn't do anything, and then moved over to SHR when SHR was hot and still didn't do anything. So, I mean, he actually had a decent year for his first year at Trackhouse. I'll give him that. Like,
yeah, I mean, Justin Anderson said he surprised him, and that's the same thing with me. He surprised the heck out of me at a lot of tracks that I did not expect him to do very good at. And it wasn't just, most time you see a lot of those guys like that, they're great in a super speedway. But there were other tracks that he actually ran pretty well at that he wasn't expected to run well at. So we'll see. Next year is going to be a wide open slate of things for us to watch for sure.
It's going to be crazy, and yeah,
I'm going to
nice
call it
Sundays
that
are
the
gonna
Daytona
be-
500 is probably going to be the most watched NASCAR race in probably a decade.
I don't know about that.
No,
I can't go that far.
I don't know any other race that, any other Daytona 500 or any other NASCAR race that would draw in as much speculation as a new current car like this than other ones. I mean, nobody cared when Austin Dillon swapped over to the number 3 and somehow miraculously got the pole.
When Danica Patrick won the pole for the Daytona.
Oh yeah,
500.
then Danica Patrick's, her first race out,
everybody watched,
miraculously
everybody
got
watched.
the pole.
Yeah, everybody watched it.
And let's bring the number. Let's bring the number 3 back.
Phrasing on that one though, but okay.
Did she? Is it phrasing though?
Hey, I wish I could say something, but I can't. So I'm not going to go there. I don't want to get myself in trouble.
Are you trying to tell us that NASCAR is WWE?
You're saying that it's scripted?
No, NASCAR.
Are you saying that some people may have a little bit of itchy trigger fingers with the timers when they are going through on their qualifying laps?
No, it has nothing. No, and it's not. I can't say.
You can't. You can. Nobody watches
us.
No,
I can't. No,
nobody watches us.
I've swore to it. I'm not going to say anything about it.
We do not want to. We don't want to make it to where Randy can't get pit access anymore.
No, Randy's not saying anything about it.
What about Pandy
guys,
Repper?
If you speculate, I will say this.
What about Pandy Repper? Can he say
it? I will say this. And this has nothing to do with anything I've ever heard or anything I speculated in my mind or whatever. But I will say the 1998 Daytona 500 that Dale Earnhardt Sr. won, I think somebody gave him something to win that race.
Yeah.
I don't think he did it all on his own. Y'all can argue with me about it.
Let me ask this question. Are you talking that maybe the car was passing inspections when it shouldn't have, kind of things?
Or was it the scripted with the driver's aspect of in race?
No. I think something else had some kind of component in there. I mean, that was many years ago.
So you're saying the guy from the Water Boy with the crazy eyes inspected his post inspection? Looks good to me, boss.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't. That one, that one's always. It was too. It played into too many things with Penny and all that other crap.
As John Gordon comments, it was a lucky penny.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all about the penny. That's all it was. Yeah, no, and I've as soon as he won that race, I said he didn't win that race. Somebody helped him win that race.
He did win it.
He did, but he had
there
help.
was something a little bit of extra going on.
Yeah, somebody gave him the good mojo that day, not the bad mojo.
He had a little extra octane in his fuel.
Not 93 at 104.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Michael Waltrip said, "Here, take this stuff. It works really good."
Oh man, and that's where Michael Waltrip learned how to throw races.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody out there is going to go, "Oh, you're full of crap. Dale Earnhardt winning that race all fair and square." Okay, whatever.
if there is any name that is going to cause someone to
Controversy,
make
yeah, that's going to be.
make those comments, it's that one.
I mean, you stir up controversy. You talk about Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr., and those
Dale
are the
Jarrett.
Sterling
Bubba
Marlin.
Wallace for some reason, a little bit of controversy with him. If you want to go down in certain circles with that too, but yeah, there's certain drivers you definitely you start talking about certain things about them, there's going to be some controversy, and yeah, and I mean, it's just like we can go back and say, well, Richard Petty really didn't win those 200 races because he didn't have any competition. He was the only one that had funding.
It doesn't
had a
matter.
real
You still
car.
won.
Yeah, he did. I agree. He did. I mean, okay, I'll say this. He was lucky enough to have funding and he won those 200 races fair and square. Okay, he won those races because it wasn't his job to get those other guys funding for their cars. So if he was lucky enough to do that, fine, let him go off and do it. But going back to Dale Sr., everybody had that funding. And it just happened that 1998 was the lucky year that everything worked out. What, 30th anniversary, 20th anniversary? What was it? I can't remember what it was. It's like a certain anniversary. I think it's 20th anniversary for him running that Daytona 500. He'd never won, and then he won on that. And they all got out on the pit lane on all high five and whatever.
We've already covered this on the podcast. I'm one to wear a tinfoil hat with you there, Randy.
I mean, there's a lot of times you can wear a tinfoil hat and try to jump to conclusions and the conspiracy theories. I mean,
yeah, the chopper's flying over the house right now.
I mean, there's a lot of strange things that happen throughout it. I'm so glad that they've kind of cut back on the phantom cautions. They haven't been consistent on calls, but they got rid of the phantom, like, oh, there's debris on the track that we never showed. I think they got a lot of crap after the Carl Edwards incident in the 2016's, I believe it's 2016, the championship race there at Homestead, where they called a phantom caution at the end to regroup them, basically, because they were too spread out.
To win.
Yeah. That was Jimmy Johnson, so he can get his sixth.
Okay, Jimmy Johnson. Oh, that's right. Yes. Jimmy Johnson when he won that. Yeah, that's right.
Because Carl Edwards, I mean, a little bit fanboyish for it because he was my driver, but I mean, he had the most dominant car that day. Nobody else kind of really had that car to beat that day compared to him. And they threw a phantom caution. They said debris, but it never showed it. It never had anything. And they regrouped them. So, I think from that point on, they've kind of like, okay, we can't do this. I think people kind of catching on. But,
well, but then you also have the cautions that don't get called. Like, let's go back to the Roval this year, and people's back ends are flopping around.
Are you talking about Chase Elliott? Oh, yeah.
Chase Elliott. Yeah.
And they're like, whoa, well, technically, he can't be black flag for it because it's still in his car, so we can't really do that. And we can't black flag him to make him come in for it. But we can throw a caution because we know it's going to fall off. So we'll just wait and not have him come in and fix it, and then he'll get his caution that he needs. So, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll just wait till it falls off the back of the car and goes through somebody's windshield and kills them.
Yeah. Or my conspiracy theory is the championship finale at Phoenix. There's only 2 cars that were actually decent that night.
Yeah.
And the other 2 the other 2 were dog shit. And but somehow they magically all made it to the front 4. And stayed in the top 4 for, from 30% on the race all the way to the end. They were like, oh, no, the top 4 here. I'm like, yeah, no, they were terrible.
That's almost every year. If you look at it, it's almost every year. The top 4 always run the top 4 every year of the championship. I never have been able to understand that one. I was like, How convenient is that?
Oh,
I,
it's just gentlemen racers amongst the field not wanting to mess up anyone's
I,
playoff chances.
I think Ryan Blaney had the car to beat that
Yeah.
night. He showed it up front at the beginning of the race until everybody had to cycle to the front, and then at the end he couldn't. He's like, well, because he blew past Chase Elliott in closing laps. He was riding behind him for the last like 10, 15 laps, just like riding pace with him, and then once Chase fell far enough back, he like, all right, well, I'm gonna pass you and sell past you at this point, and I think he cleared him by a couple seconds there within a couple last 5 laps. So I think that they were all kind of sandbagging it to let the top four do it. My
You think
conspiracy
they're all
theory,
you think they're all sandbagging, huh?
yeah, because
There was an unspoken agreement throughout the pit lane to just let them do it, and that if there's any chance at any of them being able to fight for the win, and
because Denny Hamlin's car was crap. Chase Elliott, I think he had like short run speed, but that was it. And Kyle Larson showed, I mean, his car was actually pretty good. Martin Truex's car was pretty good. Other than that, no.
Martin Truex car was really good.
So, those are only two that deserve to be up in the top two during the most of the race. I think the other two were kind of give me positions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was there watching it live in person, and you definitely, when you're watching, especially at that track, it's a different watching at that track. It's than any other track I've watched a race at. You definitely see things that you definitely don't see on TV. You know, uh, the speed doesn't seem as intense. I mean, it's one of those tracks that it feels like a short track. They don't feel like they're going as fast as you think they are or what they really are going. And you're right. Ryan Blaney was fast. He definitely had a good car. Early on, he didn't. He had a good car. He went up and went back.
Well, it's
Kinda
because
came back.
everybody pitted. He didn't take tires. He was able to
Yeah.
hold off Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick had a fast car that night for
Yeah,
once.
Harvick did have a good car at one point.
Harvick had fresh tires and Blaney didn't. He held off Harvick for probably about 15 laps or so.
Yeah, he
and
did.
he started falling back, but that's because everybody else had fresh tires and Blaney stayed out. So I mean, he had a fast car. Kevin Harvick had a fast car that night. I know track changes and they got to change with it. It doesn't say they're going to be fast all night long, but conspiracy theory says people held back to let the top four be top four.
I don't
Is
think that's
it-
conspiracy theory. I 100% agree with that. It happens no matter what series you're watching. No one wants to be the guy that takes out a contender.
I mean, you look at the truck series. The truck series was madness. Their season finale was
That was a great race. I love that race.
Yeah, but that's also the guys that everybody has something to prove, and winning one race can mean a move
I mean,
up to
even
the
the
next
Xfinity series. I mean, the Xfinity series. I mean, it was a tooth and nail. Like who's going to win it? There was non-playoffs drivers up front in the mix and battling all night long. Whereas the Cup Series was like, after like 30% of the race, maybe stage one on, it was like, all right, the top four are the top four, and there was nobody really battling them for at all. And but the Xfinity and Truck Series was like nail biter. Like who's going to win this?
I'm still gonna run with every single one of those guys are running for a seat in the next series. So showing strength at what is a relatively tricky track at Phoenix could mean the difference between I'm gonna end up in Cup and another year of running.
I don't know. I mean,
Xfinity.
you had the Truck Series champion lose his ride, so I mean, not this year, but the past year, I believe he forgot who the winner was, but I remember right after that, he's like, "No, we're not renewing the contract with you." But you just won the championship. All right, well, cool, man. I'll find another team.
But it's still, those guys have something to fight for. Most of the guys in Cup, their seats pretty much locked in for the next year at that point. And everybody else is just looking for the next step
Oh,
on the ladder.
I mean,
So
it's
any
also
strength you
though
show
it's also about funding. Like what sponsors are you bringing to the table? It's not 100% about talent these days too.
Yeah,
So
it used to be, but it's not anymore. Now it's about money.
Well,
That's
and
one thing I hate about NASCAR a lot now
mean-
is it's all about money.
oh,
mean-
don't get me started on that.
I mean, Kurt Busch is a fantastic driver, but I mean, I don't think he would be in the sport without Monster right now.
Oh no, I don't think so either.
I think his talent would carry him, but without Monster, I don't think anybody would take a chance with him. Like
I think there's several drivers it probably would not be in the sport right now if it wasn't for sponsors.
I mean, Suarez wouldn't be as wouldn't have got premium rides without his sponsors of Aris back in the day.
Yep, true. Well, we knew that because if he hadn't brought that to the table, Carl might still have his ride.
Yep.
So, I
yeah.
guess Carl's happy out there in the middle of nowhere in his farm doing nothing.
Yeah, I check in with Randy Fuller, his old PR guy, on Twitter all the time, and he says he's enjoying life. Randy Fuller is a great guy. He's an Air Force veteran, and he's followed him. I think he's Daniel Hemrick's PR guy now. So, every so often I'll throw out something or ask questions, and Randy was like, I'll ask him more. Yeah, he's doing great. So it's kind of cool to, at least there's somebody out there that will still say something about it, that keeps in contact with good old cousin Carl.
Yeah, I was actually asking Pat about it, and Pat said, yeah, he's out in the middle of nowhere just doing his own thing, man, and just enjoying life. It's like,
I mean, his wife's a brain surgeon or something like that. So, I mean, he saved up his money from his NASCAR career, and she's making some good money. So, go enjoy life.
Yeah.
His is the retirement money. Hers is the living money.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess if you're living out on the land, middle of nowhere, how much overhead do you have?
I mean, it's probably everything's already paid off, except for the wonderful property taxes. Don't pay those. They'll come back and take over your house, even though it's paid off.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. So, all right. So have you had any questions at all?
So Justin threw out conspiracy theory of 2001 Pepsi 400. I'm not sure what that one is.
I know what that is. That would be the 2001 Pepsi 400 when Dale Jr. won the Pepsi 400 and proceeded to slide down into the grass. And Michael Waltrip came down, climbed out of his car, and got there hugging on top of the car, celebrating on top of the car. Yeah, I agree with you on that one too, Justin.
So you're saying they intentionally damaged the car so it wouldn't meet specs? Was that the conspiracy theory? I'm just trying to figure out where the.
I'm gonna run and get beer because this is before I started watching NASCAR.
So is it, is that what it is? More of they took out the bubble hood, kind of like the good old plexiglass issue with Kevin Harvick a couple years back, where the plexiglass would bend in the corners.
Something like that. Yeah, I would say there was something somewhere along the line that said we need a feel-good moment after we just lost our biggest star just a few months ago, and why not have his son win the 400?
Oh, okay, that type of
and
conspiracy.
create another feel-good moment to make people forget about the bad moment.
Gotcha.
So that's what I think it was, and and I guess if Justin's
He said exactly, Randy.
Exactly. Okay, Justin just agreed with me. So yeah, so that's I'm totally with you on that one, Justin. I think that was what it was all about. So yeah, there's been a few of those, along the line. I mean, it's definitely not the days of having some guy out of nowhere win the race. Like Bobby Hillin winning the race at Talladega, and everybody's like, Bobby who?
Hank's son.
Hank's son?
Yeah, Hank Hill.
Hank Hill?
Propane.
What the hell are you talking about, Bobby? Get down and drive the car the way I told you to, the way Darrell Waltrip would have. Come on, Junior Johnson's right there with you.
So we got John Gordon said, so did they let Park the week after Dale Dye win, or what about Kevin Harvick's win at Atlanta?
Yeah, I would think something something was a little funny in both of those. Yeah, sure.
Well, Justin Anderson doesn't agree with you on the Harvick one.
He
Well,
said Harvick said RCR
well,
at
he
ran
did
Atlanta in
barely
2000.
win that race. He did barely win. I mean, maybe not Harvick. Harvick might have been one of those.
Put him at the front and see if he can actually get the win kind of deals.
No, I don't think that was it. I think Harvick actually won that race. I think it was just a matter of we've got to do something good for Dale. We've got to win this race. That internal, stuff, that the adrenaline that gets in you, and it just drive beyond your means. And I think he probably won it because he drove, over, with passion. So to win that race. So I agree with that one because I forgot how close that race was. That wasn't a race that he won by 12 car lengths ahead of anybody. That was pretty much a squeaker. So,
Are we gonna see any conspiracies in 2022 in the AOL division in any of these next gen cups? Will there be
I don't
anybody?
think we can do any kind of conspiracies there. I don't think iRacing will let us.
oh no.
You still have
This
the team.
year,
You
if
still have the team conspiracy, like are drivers letting other people or doing stuff to allow their teammate to get ahead?
That never happens. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't have a team that runs up front, so I never have to worry about that. The only guy we had that ran up front left and went to another team. So, not saying any names or anything, but
Rick Kohler, man, that dude just dumped and left and went to Panda Racing, and that dude's unstoppable on those road series. And
thanks, Justin.
What's it say?
If Josh makes the chase, it was definitely rigged.
Who finished higher in the Sportsman? And I don't want to hear that broken finger crap.
I would have if I was in the championship.
But no, there's always whenever somebody. What else we got here?
Did Carl and ZD really mean to have contact or net code? Is that a conspiracy, or are they just throwing on a good show to make it look like a huge rivalry?
I can say from the race chat, definitely Carl is not happy about it when it happens. He does get over it pretty quickly, but
at the time being, he's not very happy.
I wasn't really happy when Josh gave me the tip on Wednesday night. No, I wasn't happy at all.
I'm not surprised by that at all, because it's one of the few times I've ever hit you and I actually felt bad.
I was like, wow, I just drove all the way back up to the field and got dumped. And then as soon as I got dumped, it's like white flag. I was like, there's no green white checker. I'm ending dead last or second to last because Josh gave himself the EOL, so he's finished dead last. I finished one above.
So do you guys think, okay, so we talk about this things that kind of happen. Do you think that the tire grip package that's out there, the thing that supposedly some people do run on iRacing, do you think anybody that you've ever run with possibly ran it?
Not in any of the leagues I've ever run. No.
I don't know.
Have I seen it definitely in the officials? Yes.
Really?
Yeah, because I actually was running the SLM official, and I was in a practice session with a guy that was a half a second faster than the fastest VRS lap in the open setup in a fixed setup.
Wow. That's crazy.
And all I can think to myself is, there's no way that somebody can be that much faster than professionals in a fixed setup.
I don't know. You hate to throw out the conspiracy, but man, Dalton Tucker and Joseph Causey are on a whole different level whenever it came to IVRL. I mean, Greg was out there. He was also kind of in a whole other different level when it comes to tire wear. I rode behind Greg coming out of pit road. We both pitted at the same time. I was a lap down, but I'm riding right behind him, and I'm keeping up from lap for lap. But as the tires go on, he pulled an 8-second gap on me. I'm just like, all right, well, I was able to keep up with you, and these long runs, I don't, you're running as hard as me. How are you doing this? I'm not saying he had a grip, maybe just that much better, but there's just those inconsistencies of like, how are you able to save so much tire better than everybody else, but pushing as hard or harder than I am to stay in front of me at that point.
Yeah, and I remember watching those races and just kind of going.
And then Blake at Martinsville, the fourth to last race, yeah, definitely grip hack right there. I mean, got a 7-second lead on me there in the whole entire field. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake.
I feel like
Blake. I believe Blake's probably been doing this cheat thing for a long time because there's no way you can be. Just messing with you, Blake.
I just think that Blake has just. If we actually looked at his stats, he has something like 5,000 laps at Martinsville because he has to have that one track that just no one has a chance at beating him at, and it just happens to be Martinsville.
I mean, like everybody else on the whole entire track was running almost the exact same lap times, but not Blake. Blake was able to go out there and pull out 0.3 of a second faster per lap throughout the whole entire race. Conspiracy.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then Blake comes out this past Wednesday and loses to Carl.
I mean, that was a heck of a battle.
Maybe they don't have a tire hack for that type of car yet.
I tell you what, I mean, watching Brandon and Blake go at it for probably 15-20 laps side by side.
Those first 15-20 laps were amazing because you had Blake and Brandon going at it, then the two of us going at it. And honestly, I want to run more of the SLMs. And
you guys starting in second gear were retarded. I could hear you guys shifting. I'm like, no, start at least in third. You guys were.
There were guys on Tuesday night that were running and they were starting in first gear. I was like, what the hell? They're just leaving us. They were starting in freaking first gear.
Well, if you can keep traction and get the good jump, it's worth it.
It's a new gen car.
Oh yeah.
The SLM is kind of like your Martinsville in the Cup car. It's like you blow through the gears. So I was like, there's no point of starting in second, starting third. I think
the first few restarts I did, and then I was just like, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't make any sense.
Because I mean, literally, you have a 1.5 seconds in second gear. Third gear, you get about 2 seconds, and then you're in fourth already. It was so quick. You're going through the gears. It wasn't. Yeah. I think Dan Shirley at one point, he's like, I tried fourth. It was okay.
Yeah, and I have to agree with John because where the pace car goes off in the maybe 1.5 seconds from the time you could restart to the time the green flag drops, 2/3 of the field are in the middle of the turn.
Yeah.
And you dump it in second gear and the back end's flying around because you're still dealing with 650 horsepower.
Yeah, that was a beast. Yeah, I messed up that one time near the end because I was fighting back, trying to get back up to the front, and was on the inside lane, and just gave her a little bit too much and put me in the back. But then, fought my way back up until somebody gave me the tip.
Yep. And
you guys are really making me wish I was able to run that Wednesday night league.
It's gonna be every Wednesday, man.
When you can.
I know, but I don't. I work for Ghostfire Media on Wednesday nights.
Oh, that's right. I
Sim
forgot about
Pro
that.
500 League.
Are you going to run
sponsored
Sunday?
By Share Pro. Huh?
Are you running Sunday in the Endeavor Derby?
300 laps, baby. Super late model.
Oh, it's work. We need a Randy Pepper out there.
Well, this Sunday?
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock on Sunday.
It's the only thing, the biggest chatter going on in every group that we got going is.
All right. Well, let me go check my schedule.
It starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little bit.
Right, broadcast on Ghostfire Media.
He's really going to go check his schedule right now. But no, I think
No, it's gonna be a blast. We currently have the paint scheme out voting up on our Facebook page, and I will honestly say I think that some of them are criminally underrated in the voting.
yeah, there's quite a few that I'm like, this has no votes or one or two. I'm just like, all right, you know.
Well, I look at it this way. I look at Carl's that's an ugly sweater or ugly Christmas sweater is in second, maybe third at this point. And then you have well,
Randy,
we'll
the
wait for
Randy,
Randy.
the
We'll
Randy.
wait for that one to come back.
Well,
We'll
he knows
make fun
about
of
the paint
Brandon.
scheme. He
I
voted.
know. But we'll make fun of Brandon for never having seen Idiocracy
Yeah.
and the many jokes that have come along with that.
Oh man, guy else getting ridiculed right there.
I'm sorry, that was absolutely like I love that paint scheme to where so many jokes immediately popped into my head, and then the Discord chat
Yeah.
after that was an hour's
Yeah.
worth of entertainment for me.
So you just want us
But
to put
I'm
toilet water on it?
You mean water?
Like
Like from the toilet? No, I'm very much looking forward to this. I have run way more laps of practice for
Yeah.
this than I think I did any race throughout the year.
Yeah, good for you. I've ran hardly anything on those.
Oh, it's all AI races though, to
No, I'm
where
just
I
saying.
know how to throw the elbows out. I don't know how to run a fast lap. I'm going to be terrible in qualifying.
I'm hoping
But
by
I
lap
also know how to Doria and survive.
I'm hoping by lap 250 I learn the track and figure it out.
So it starts at 5 o'clock.
That's when
Yes.
practice opens up. I think qual's at 6.
Well, my mom said I might be able to do it, but
Your
my mom said that she might let me go, but I got to mow the lawn and
I mean,
And
just
Randy, we even have someone running your namesake in it.
I know. And what the hell was that? What the hell is Passini doing with my name on this car?
dude, I tell you what, that's a badass looking car. I think
It looks great. I like it.
Well, he just randomly just told us that he was doing that in the team chat, and then I was just like, I don't know if that's going to turn out that well, and then he showed us, and I was like, that is utterly fantastic.
and I love the number 9. So
Yeah, I thought at first I said Tom Stevens is running my car.
Yeah, and then I'm sitting over here looking at the number 81. I sent Brandon a message like, who the hell's the 81 on Endeavor? I was like, I don't know who the hell this is. He's like, dude, that's me. I was like, aren't you the 70? He's like, yeah, but I want to run the 81 in the AOL Cup Series, but my teammate apparently that's his number, so yeah. And then Larry said he's going to show up and wreck me and Josh, and Carl and Blake. So Larry's going to come
You'll
here.
have to get to Blake first.
He can slow down.
But bring it. Larry,
Larry's
I have paint to lose to you.
Larry says he has the paint to win it all. He said he's dying laughing in my comments. So, I've been talking with Larry this past week, and he said his paint is going to be the comic release, or so to speak. I don't know what it is, but that's all he would tell me.
As long as it's not Randy's trucks that have semi-naked men on the back.
They're shooting the bird at you. So, limited late models, or what are we?
Super late model.
Super late models. I'll have to download a car and I see if I can do this. My mom might not let me do it.
It's all about throttle control at this track at 5 Flags. So coming out of the corners, just got to worry about throttle control, and you're good at short tracks. This would be right up your alley. And you got, like you said, you got 300 laps to learn this track, man. It'd be you only need to lead 1 lap, and that's the last one.
How many? Do we know how many fast repairs, all that stuff?
1.
1 in 300 laps. How many tires we getting?
3.
Here's the only thing that I will tell you. 3. There's 2 competition cautions, one at lap 100 and one at lap 200. When we ran on Wednesday, we did 125 at Hickory. I changed my tires at lap 46.
And it was like 97%.
Yes. The
So-
tires are not going to make a difference.
Okay, so tires are-
It's the tire wear. Tire temperature, on the other hand,
How much
will
you
make a difference.
how much you destroy your tires will heat them up by sliding them. The tire wear is not that big. I did start carving through the field when I changed my right sides at I think 102, 105 after I spun twice. So I changed the right sides and started driving back through the field with just rights. But it wasn't like dramatic. It was just I got a little bit better drive off the corner,
But the
but
one
not by
thing,
much.
the one thing to give you confidence with the one fast repair, these cars are tanks.
Yeah. You beat and
Like
bang.
you can throw elbows out, you can door people and survive. Like
And-
you have to basically go headfirst into the wall at full speed to make these things undrivable.
What
Yeah.
about flipping?
You can climb the wall. That's about it. I haven't. flipped.
I've tested the flippability of these cars.
They're pretty wide.
Yeah, they're
I'm asking for
huge.
John Gordon.
He's out there.
I
Ask him.
think it's time to retire John Gordon
I
as
don't know.
being flipper.
I mean, we're still in the Legends. We gotta wait till after the Legends series over with.
Yeah, because he's really good at
on,
flipping
on Sunday
Legends.
nights.
but that's road. It's really difficult to flip them in the road.
I mean, you hit him just right, he'll flip.
He'll flip.
Miss that brake zone. I mean, miss that brake zone.
Hey, he had a license plate at the fun race we did on Thanksgiving that just said not flipper.
Not flipper. Okay.
I have not seen that man flip for a while. I'm just gonna keep defending.
Oh, dude, Larry, no.
What did Larry
Stop
say?
the private chats.
Oh man.
We need to laugh at Larry too.
Oh, I don't know how to put this up on the screen. Sorry.
Just read it out loud.
No, it's a picture. He showed
Oh.
me. He showed me his car. I don't think. I think he's got the wrong one. I think it Carl should be there. So.
Oh no!
Oh,
Is he laying a hot Carl in his car?
Let me. I might mess this up right quick, but I'm.
oh, send it to me.
yeah.
Send it to me.
I'll forward it to you then.
Yeah, because I have.
Oh.
I quite
Capabilities of doing
literally
it.
have this set up.
Yeah, so you're gonna laugh. So so I'm assuming he wants to do it. So I'll send it to our chat. So that Randy can see it up close and personal too.
If he puts it on the screen here, I'll be able to see it. It's probably better than in the chat. Let me
I don't know.
see.
You can zoom in on your phone a little bit better. Josh is already laughing. So it's just the screen, the actual print of it, not the actual car.
Yeah, it's
the
not the
template.
car, but oh my god, this is.
I need to hide my profile. I need to make it private again.
Are you kidding me? God.
Boats and hose.
It's the white and blue car, right?
Yeah. Ooh.
Catalina wine mixer.
There we go, right there. It's up there for everybody to see.
Who are those two guys?
That's why so with the bromance between I gotta move the thing. Go. We'll enlarge it there. There we go. So I think that with the bromance between Carl and Blake, I think that's what it should have been.
Oh,
But
I think so too.
we'll go
got
this way.
yeah. We see Blake's on there.
It's Blake and Adam.
Yes,
I know it's Adam. Yeah.
I gotta make my profile private from now on.
Why is there romance with you? Those two. What is the bromance with that Blake? Why did he? I don't understand that.
But dude, I'm digging it. Can't wait to see it. Ghostfire Media is gonna have a field day with that. Nick won't see it until Sunday because he won't come back and rewatch this. So no, actually, I sent the group chat, so he might see it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh boy, that's funny. He did that.
No, it's I just can't
feel
wait
honored.
because
Hey,
I get to race with Larry again, which means I get to dump him at least once.
Maybe he can go for a second place finish.
Oh, he may actually be able to pull it off.
That's great.
Just get that low line, buddy. Oh, apparently that's a Rick Kohler original right there.
Oh man, I definitely I gotta unfriend Rick Kohler then. I'll block him. Rick did me dirty.
Oh my god.
I-
Hey,
I-
you know what, Adam? Me and you have to. We have
That's-
to feel honored.
I think
that
I think that maybe
our
this,
other Our other
You guys
drivers
both-
have actually got, yeah, both of us are on other people's cars. You see that? I'm on Cini's car. Now you're on Larry's car.
maybe
Wow.
Rick did this for me, calling him Uncle Fester. You know, whenever I dubbed him over as Uncle Fester in the Addams Family, the picture. So maybe this is Rick Kohler getting back at me.
Carl wasn't happy about the fact that me and Chris ran him and his face on our trucks for so long.
And
Oh yeah,
compared
that's
him to
right. You
Forrest
had
Gump.
him. I remember that. That's funny.
He wasn't honored.
Maybe probably because you were comparing him to Forrest Gump. Maybe if it was just his face.
It was the beard.
Oh, trust me, I know what it is.
You should have put what you should have done is made the truck sponsored by Manscaped.
Still want that Dude Wipes sponsorship.
Harvey changed it. He's a Royal Crown guy now.
But you
And
know,
actually in
dude
Pit
wipes are
Boss-
just stuff that you use. Dude wipes are, we thought they were something else, but they're actually shop towels that you use in, your workshop.
Well, maybe some of us need them for those other reasons occasionally.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was telling Pat about it, and Pat goes, "Yeah, I've got some in my back of my garage area." I was like, "Oh, really? You have them in the bathroom back there?" He goes, "Why would I have them in the bathroom?" He goes, "Oh, you guys think they're for that?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, y'all some stupid kids."
I can't say anything. My go-to is tub of towels.
Oh.
I gotta go with my Fed Pro, local Cleveland company. They're amazing.
What are that? Are they just?
They're shop towels. They're
Oh.
they're basically like cleaning solution shop towels. I also may
Okay.
know like 3 people that work there.
Oh,
And I've
all
not
right.
paid
Yeah, I
for
see
them
how.
ever
Yeah,
in my lifetime.
name
but-
dropping.
Hey, they're one of the best sellers at my supply house, so I can't say anything that's
So, all right. So let's kind of close out 2021. What was your favorite moment, Josh, of 2021 throughout your sim racing career? It doesn't have to any of the leagues you ran, but what are you the most proud of, or coolest thing that happened? Maybe something.
All right, so I'm not going to throw out getting the podium on Sportsman, even though I just did. Actually, the 2 places that stick out in my mind are A, battling with Blake at Vegas to close out the TNT season, just because, honestly, it was the most fun I had racing probably all year. Because it was just an absolute blast. And the other one and I'm hoping we'll probably have to discuss this as a league, or if we're actually talking about just doing a CCR team possibly. Honestly, the most camaraderie that I felt throughout the year and why I had the most fun with it was actually the 24 hours of Daytona at the beginning of the year. Like, that was an absolute
Yeah, yeah.
blast.
Didn't you spin out during that?
Let's not talk about me being the only one that required repairs
I had, like-
outside of Adam
I had
and
a-
his
I had
like
a-
30 seconds.
I had like 30 seconds, and some team was really pissed off at me. I mean, he tried to challenge a LMP with his GT3. He needs to go away. Like, you don't challenge a GT. You don't challenge my LMP when you have a GT3.
No, but I actually had a lot of fun with that. It was fun seeing everybody come together for a common cause. It would have been a lot more fun if we would have all ended up in the same split, but
We were so close too. We were so close.
you know what?
It was Blake.
And I actually no. I ran the numbers and figured out how they calculate each team split. It was the fact that Johnny Downey was actually on both teams.
Oh yeah.
To where he actually brought down the LMP teams by like 5 points, but ended up dropping.
The Corvette.
He
team.
was on the LMP team, to where he didn't really make much of a budge with the LMP team. It was the Corvette team that he dropped by like 15, 20 points.
But he didn't race. He wasn't like he didn't actually
But
race
because he was the like lead on each team,
with him. Okay.
and he's the one that set up both teams, it calculated him into both teams.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Because some of us had real terrible road I ratings at that point.
But I tell you what, it would have been badass if we could have got both teams underneath it. One for stream aspects because we had two different streams, but then we could have saw, like, "Hey, there they go. There goes the LMP. Bloop."
Just laugh as we blow their doors off every fifth lap.
But we were able to conversate. We were like, hey, I think Teddy was.
Drove all the other teams insane while we were
Yeah.
laughing at each other.
Oh man, and then Rick Kohler's paint schemes would have been awesome because then we would have been both the same. So the LMP, we had the yellow in the front and blue in the back, the Menards yellow, and so all the cars that we were coming up on, the slower cars would see the bright yellow, and the Corvette was opposite. So the Corvette had the bright yellow in the back, so all the fast cars could see the Corvette as they came up, so they wouldn't get blindsided by a dark-looking car. So Rick Kohler was spot on with the two paint schemes for the AOL series guys that were driving it. But
That's a professional designer right there.
yeah, thinking of those little minute little details instead of let's go with the all dark scheme at nighttime at Daytona. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, Adam, what was your favorite moment of the year?
I think it was getting my wins.
I was waiting to hear Chicagoland.
Chicagoland, I felt like it was a good. I raced and earned that win. Talladega is always a fluke, being up front, but you got to put yourself there. So that was put myself in the right place, right time on that one. IVRL is the same way with that one. That was monumental to put myself in the right place at the right time to be able to draft Greg Holt right there at the end and pass him at the line. I think that was probably the biggest upset and win for me that I didn't think it was coming. Like I thought the Talladega win was coming, and with Chicagoland I kind of got a huge lead out there and didn't think it was kind of riding by myself and didn't think that I wasn't going to win that one. But the IVRL Talladega win, because coming back and barely beating Greg Holt by like a quarter of a second, something out there. Justin says was watching me at Martinsville to see if I could advance in the finals in IVRL. Yeah, that was an exciting but tenseful race. I think that's the most intense race I think I've been in for a Cup Series was Martinsville at IVRL.
Did you wear the brown pants that day?
It wasn't like that, like scared. It was more of like every lap could have been my last. we were beating and banging. There were so many wrecks, but there was only 9 people. So if you like spun out, went to the back, they were right behind you. Like you thought, their race is over. Like what it was, Thomas Carino. Like him and Charles both spun out, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be good until the end. And next thing you know, I look them, they're in my mirror again. So it's not like I could catch a breath and having to be able to relax a little bit. That whole entire race, especially at the end, was very stressful and intense to see if I was going to be able to pass and get through it. So that was, one of those exciting moments to be able to put myself in the championship for. And then we got a RJ out there saying hi. What's up, man?
Hey, RJ.
And then, so Randy, what about you, man? 2021 had a lot of ups and downs for you, man.
Yeah.
So,
That's all right. So mine, okay, you guys are going to be this is going to be kind of be different than you guys. So both of you guys kind of are really my up moments of the year. So since I haven't been a great sim racer, I mean, sure, I finished 3rd and 4th a couple races. Big deal. That's okay.
I was
My
waiting to hear
big thing-
5 Flags, which is where the Derby is this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was 3rd there or 4. I can't. I think it was 3rd there. Yeah. So, anyways, my big things actually, my first one would be Josh running with Blake to win, or actually to win the championship, but to just running so hard and so good that race. I mean, it was so exciting. It was one of my biggest up moments of the year watching you do that. The other one was you, Adam, in the IVRL, that Talladega race. I was on cloud 9 for you. I was so happy for you doing that. Both of you guys. I mean, I was so proud of you guys for your accomplishments. It wasn't, I don't, like I said, I run okay, but I'm not, you guys are much better racers than me. And watching you guys do that, I lived through that. Even Nick winning his race in the trucks. That was another one. I was really happy for Nick doing that. You guys make my life happy by stuff that you do, because we're all this family. The Ghost Fire Media family is a big part of my family. So watching you guys do that. Also, one of the weird things, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy about this, but getting to hang out with Johnny Downey this season off the track and going to Universal and hanging out with his family and getting to know his family and all
He's
that
not
stuff.
all
That
that,
was
man.
another.
He's not all
Huh?
that.
He's your
I know.
he's
You already-
literally your
He's
family.
your family,
Yeah.
but so yeah,
I could
so
say
I
that's
got
what.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun for me. Just getting to do that type of stuff. All the guys. I want to thank all the guys that came into my shop. Hanner, Kohler,
Murillo.
yeah, Shirello, and there's who else was it? I've had there's 2 more. Well, I got to meet Ed Springer, his brother Tim. Got to see him. I mean, so all the people that came to the shop and said hi, thank you. I do appreciate it. I love meeting all the guys that are part of this league, and anybody else that's out and you're coming down here to Daytona Beach, please stop by the shop and say hi to me. I enjoy meeting everybody. It's an honor for me to meet you and talk to you and stuff. But like I said, you guys made me happier. Those were my moments. My racing wasn't my moments. It was getting to you guys winning, doing well with all your stuff, and being part of my family. So,
Well, and hopefully things are still on, because I do have a save the date for everybody from the AOL getting together in June.
where?
I don't know. There was just a save the date like
I think it was
mid-year.
from my understanding, they're Ed's trying to work it out to come up to Darlington.
Oh, that's right, Darlington. Yeah. So that's not too
So
bad.
as long as it's not the last week of June, I'm 100% free for the whole entire year. But yeah. So
as long as Omnicon doesn't spoil our party
I have to
and destroys the world.
I have to fly back out here for one week to clear the army and be done with it and wipe my hands clean. And So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a fantastic time. And, I got to meet Ed. He invited us down. Me and Johnny both. We got to go ahead and uh, walk the entire track of Darlington. It's a big track, and we walked all the way around it, up the banking, all the way around it.
That's a sissy track. I've walked around Daytona several times.
And then,
Well, it's because you're from
yeah,
there, so you know what?
Yeah, we do walks
and then,
around there.
and then Johnny got to park his minivan in the victory lane. I was like, why didn't I drive my car through here? I want to park my car in victory lane so I can
Your
have.
your car could actually handle the top line at Darlington.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say your car.
Yeah, I got mine in the victory lane pose in Charlotte, so it would have been great to have another one in Darlington. So, um, but
We
yeah,
have a shot. We have a shot of you parked in front of Talladega.
I got in front of Talladega. I got that one. I got some pictures of me passing the water tower at Darlington too. So, but no, yeah, met Ed. Whenever I get back, hopefully we can. Most people are kind of centrally located on the East Coast from AOLL. Maybe we'll try and do something else. But yeah, I look forward to hopefully the save the date and getting to meet a lot of the AOLL gang and meet everybody. Come down and hang out for a weekend.
Everybody will get to meet vacation drunk Josh.
And if drunk Larry comes and meets up with you, it'll be outstanding.
Yeah, that's not too far from him for him.
Yeah, we're about 2 hour and a half, 2 hours
Yeah.
away from us. So Larry lives about 30 minutes north or 45 minutes north of
I'm
me.
about 8 hours.
And
So
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to come pick me up from the airport.
which airport are you flying
how far are
into?
you?
Let me know.
You're 10 hours maybe.
If you want to come into our regional airport, it's 5 miles from my house. I'll come pick you up.
You're talking to somebody that hates driving that far, especially alone.
Oh,
Just get a good podcast on and just
Well, I can also blame Justin Anderson for getting me started with the audiobooks of the Wheel of Time series. And I won't be done by that point because it's like 29 days worth of audiobooks for the whole series.
That's a lot.
well, see, you
But-
could listen to that the whole way there.
But I would rather make somebody else just pick me up from an airport to where I can get airport drunk.
Oh man, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully, get back on the East Coast, centrally located. We'll meet up with some other drivers, go on the races. I really want to see a race at Darlington, so I think maybe next year might be my time to actually go out and do that. I wanted to go out to Texas, but I wasn't here when the All-Star race came through, and then the wife flew in the weekend. They came down this one, and she had other obligations that for work that we just couldn't do. So missed out on going to Texas Motor Speedway. But I got to see Coda.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, absolutely. I
Gotta
don't
say-
know what tracks I'll go to this year, as long as NASCAR has opened things up to people like me. We're supposed to actually play at Daytona, so that'll be cool. Playing before before the 500 or the Xfinity Racer one. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea. I just know we're supposed to play the big stage, they call it, and I assume probably Talladega again. Now I get this may be the last year of Dover for all I know, because with that Nashville thing, and
I think
with SMI.
I think they're giving up one date though. So they're not giving up both. They're not. I don't think
Okay,
they're
well,
completely getting
depends
rid of.
on which one they give up. The other one, I don't know which one will fall in. Probably play Dover again, maybe New Hampshire. I don't know. And Vegas, I'm sure of that. So I'll be out playing around some of these NASCAR tracks. So
See,
that'll
you
be
guys
fun.
are lucky. The only thing,
Charlotte.
if I want
Huh?
to go to NASCAR, I'm going to Michigan, and that's 4 hours from here. The
Are you going to drive? You're
closest-
going to fly to that one?
Oh, that's a drive, just because the flight from Cleveland to. Yeah, no, it's not worth renting a car and all of that crap to get there. The other one that I could do is I can go to Mid Ohio for Indy, but this year it was on the 4th of July, and no. Not doing that.
And so I'm like, since I'm in North Carolina, I'm centrally located around a lot of tracks. Got Darlington, Charlotte, Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond. So there's quite a few tracks. And
I went close to, I got Homestead, it's the closest one down here. That's still almost 5 hours from me. I mean, that's a long ways from Daytona. I mean, so all the tracks besides Daytona are a good ways for me to drive.
I think I came close to when I was up in DC area. My kid had like this baton competition that was somewhere up in Pennsylvania, and we came close to going on. Pocono actually was racing that weekend. We came very close to like saying, "Screw it, let's go up to Pocono and watch the race." But I think ended up getting rained out or canceled or something like that due to weather or something. So glad we didn't. We chose not to do that one. Add on adventure to it.
Speaking of Pocono, do you guys really think that they need 2 races of that track?
No.
Well,
No, but I also love the races at that track, so I'm biased. But no, I'm not a fan of the fact that there are so many tracks out there, and we have repeats.
Well, and they're doing
the
double.
schedule.
They're doing double headers. So I mean, it's
yeah,
this-
double head. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, if they were separate, I think even they were a little too close together because I mean, I understand because of the climate and everything up there. But that's one of those
I-
tracks where you can't spread it out far enough. Like Daytona, at least you got February and then August.
Yeah.
Okay, that's quite a bit difference between the two. But that one, I mean, it's like they had it in June and August, and then now they have it back to back, and it's like why?
No, I don't think they need to have two. I mean, at least they're doing it on the same weekend. But it's like watching. It's like I'm watching a rerun here. So So no, I think it does provide good racing, and I can't wait to see what the new car does with it. But yeah, I agree that it should not have 2 races. Like
No.
you said, I think there's a lot of other great tracks out there that deserve a chance.
The only reason I can deal like Daytona having 2 races is the fact that what other super speedways are there outside of Dega?
Yeah.
There
So
aren't.
you have only 2 tracks that provide similar excitement, whereas Talladega provides just different type of super speedway. It's still super speedway racing, but they're able to do so much more different moves and the way that track is shaped compared to Daytona. They're kind of opposite. Whereas you got some of these mile and a half that are kind of almost the exact same. That
Kansas, Kentucky, Charlotte.
yeah,
Yeah,
Vegas.
cookie cutters. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vegas. No, California's gonna be different now. So
But
Yeah,
thank God that's
California's-
gonna be different.
I would even argue that California is much different in comparison because it's a bigger track.
Yeah, so California kind of resembles more of a Michigan, so it's a kind of
Mhm.
a take on a
Yeah,
play
that's
on
true.
Michigan, but
Yeah,
Where like Michigan stands alone. Auto Club's kind of the same thing. And then the only other one that's kind of like it, but it's not at all, is Indy, to where it's still a big track, but it's not flat out like a Daytona or a Talladega.
well, I mean it's unique as a whole. I mean you got 4
Mhm.
distinct
one
corners.
groove track. Now, hopefully, with these new cars, we'll get away from that one groove.
Yeah, I
So
mean
maybe
that's
hoping.
well, we'll see how the
Hoping.
arrow plays into it. See if they can do side by side and be able to. I think that they should be able to race side by side based off the car's characteristics, but throwing arrow into it, will they be able to still get a good run using side by side on
I think
all
we're
these tracks?
running Indy actually in the RFJ league on Tuesday. So
You're going to have
hopefully,
to let us know.
yeah, I'll let you know what that one feels like. Hopefully, they have a setup for it. Because
So-
there aren't a lot of setups for the new gen on online. So if you decide to run races that are not official, they don't have setups for a lot of those races.
So do you think
for these
that
tracks.
by February, iRacing is going to update everything about it?
Oh,
The
absolutely.
next gen on iRacing.
Yep, everything. And I believe that's the reason why we're getting those all those track updates and all that stuff. Everything's being updated all because of the new gen.
And if you didn't see, Ed just shared a post in the AOL group, but I saw it earlier on different one of iRacing forums. But apparently they don't even have the CAD drawings yet for the next gen or the new bodies for the truck series. So iRacing's behind it isn't going to have the next gen until probably later in the season of the truck series, which is going to be weird because the truck
Yeah.
series are all moving to different bodies next year.
Yeah.
And it's even weirder considering iRacing was used to try to figure out the new track profile for Atlanta, to test the Chicago street circuit.
Yeah.
To where, I would
And
have thought that they had just such a relationship that it would have already
I mean,
been there.
because you look at them for the next gen. I mean, they're doing a lot of next gen testing using theoretical physics off of what NASCAR is feeding them to make it. I mean, as soon as they announce next gen what it's going to look like in the bodies, iRacing had it, and they were already developing it behind the scenes for a while.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever think there would be a day that we'd see NASCAR actually using iRacing or anything virtual racing
Or
at all?
consumer
Yeah,
market to do it.
to help them develop something else. That's
I mean,
blows me away thinking that.
I kind of hate admitting to it because I'm not an R Factor fan, but most of the Formula One teams use R Factor as their sim software for figuring out setups for tracks.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
And granted, it's heavily customized and all of that fun stuff, but still, they're essentially using consumer, and it's not surprising to me because who's really the major shareholder in iRacing? Dale Jr.
Dale Jr., I know. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
why not use that connection?
Yep. We talked about that up there in Phoenix. A few of us talked about it. So, hey guys, this has been fun. It is 4 minutes past the hour. We should have been done 4 minutes ago. So let's wrap this thing up and all go do our manly duties with our wives. No, just kidding.
It's bedtime.
I know, I'm just kidding. Actually, Adam,
I would do something, but
Adam wants
my
to
kid
eat the
watches.
Little Debbie cake from his wall.
I was going to say, do you want me to send you my box of porno jams?
I was gonna be like, I don't know what to do with my hands of Ricky Bobby. Oh man! On that note, hey, this is our season finale. We got 31 episodes this year. 31 fantastic episodes, and we couldn't do it without all the leagues we supported. And then support us. I mean, AOL's got 3 different series. We had Fuel, we had IVRL. We just picked up Sim 500. So without that, we wouldn't be a thing. And we appreciate everybody out there coming out, put on a great product and supporting us. We love doing it. This is fun for us. We get to come out here weekly and showcase your talents. We do our best to put out the best broadcast possible for you guys. And we have fun doing it. And we appreciate you guys coming out, having your friends root for you, your family root for you. Tell them to come out and be more engaging because we love this. We love engaging with the fans, the friends, the family members. We love doing that, and we like you guys coming back 3 days later and commenting on our broadcast and telling us like, hey, this is what was going on during the race. We appreciate you guys taking the time, giving us some feedback, and help us develop where we're at today. That's my feelings. I know everybody else here is kind of mutually agreed on that one. We had a blast here. It's great 2021. We got a couple outliners. We got the Snowball Derby this Sunday. Come out and watch it. And then on Wednesday nights, that's the only official broadcast until January. We'll have Randy Pepper and Nick Adams at the Sim 500 Xfinity League. So come out and watch them. Support them.
Yeah, that's a good league, guys. You want to see some good racing? Definitely tune in to the Sim 500. league. It's a great league to watch. Drivers there are all class act, and it's good stuff. We had one of the best races we've called in a long time on last Wednesday night. So if you're not racing, or actually watch back, it's on YouTube. You can watch it back at any time.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it from us here at Ghostfire Media. We hope you have a happy holidays, and
Happy Hanukkah to all those people celebrating the 6th day of Hanukkah.
I'm glad that you knew today was the 6th day.
Thank you very much.
that's why I say happy holidays.
My last name is Pepper.
Yeah, mine's Wood. Yeah. So have a wonderful night.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.